Welcome, it's Denome, and welcome to this crypto update. This is one of the best feelings you can ever have in crypto is to look at a wall of green. So altcoins are pumping left and right, and only altcoins basically which are on the negative side are stable coins. So that is one of the best feelings. And to top this feeling off, I was able to predict this move 3 days ago when I posted this video. This is it, altcoins will pump now or never. That was my previous crypto update. So very happy about these moves. I also made some trades here, like I traded LDO, bought it at 87 cents, and now sold most of it, basically half at $1.14. So very happy about these moves. Let me know in the comments if you have made trades as well. But I believe this is only the beginning. I think this bull market will continue. There's a lot of hype and there's a lot of good news basically piling up on top of each other, which I will cover in this video. So we will look at the news, the fundamentals, and obviously we will look at the prices at the end of the video as well. There's some extremely important updates in today's video that you just have to know. Before we go there, you have to understand this about the altcoin market. So currently, in my opinion, we're back phase of this market cycle. Next, we will be heading for the we're so back phase of this market cycle, and this is typically when the everybody's ecstatic, and then the markets roll over, and then everybody's saying it's over, and then it's so over, and then eventually we're in the back phase again. So in my opinion, we're looking for more upside in the coming weeks, but there could be some pullbacks in the way, obviously, because today is a green day. Usually that is followed with another green day, but then there might be some red days. But overall trend is obviously to the upside. Now, when we are talking about this altcoin cycle, I have made a video that have saved a lot of people a lot of money, and that is the ultimate altcoin profit taking strategy video. It is my most performing video ever. I made 4 years ago, and many people have come to thank me after they watched this video. It's a completely free video, basically explains how you can take profits, protect your capital in a bull market. So I advise, if you haven't seen this, and even if you have, to watch it again and really understand the concepts of this idea and use it for your own altcoin bags. And then I also want to give a shout out to one person in my Discord group. So in my Discord group, if I can access it here, the Kazuya, he actually mentioned this meme coin Army at $20 million market cap yesterday. And after he posted this, the altcoin market cap already went from 20 million to $30 million. So I just want to give a shout out to Kazuya for this call here. I thought it was great. And if you want to join this discussion, obviously not all of the calls are perfect, but some of them are good. So consider joining the Discord group in the description as well. It's completely free as well. Now let's talk about the big news here. And the big news for this week is obviously that all three crypto bills have passed the House. So the Clarity Act, Genius Act, and the Anti-CBDC Act. And there's a lot to be said about each of these different acts, but basically it all boils down to will this bring more capital to crypto? And the answer is yes. There's more regulatory clarity, more institutions have access to crypto, and all these things are in that uh, from that perspective good. There's some bad things here as well, like for example in the Stablecoin Act, you cannot make yield with stablecoins according to that act. So that is pretty much bullshit. But most of it is decent, I would say. So anyway, that passed there, and on Friday today, Donald Trump is set to make a public appearance and sign some executive orders. And when he does that, I believe he will be hyping up crypto. So if he does hype up crypto, if he doesn't hype up crypto, the markets will go up or they go down, depending basically what he says. So most likely he will want to pump up the markets because he's about to launch his WLFI protocol. So do I have it somewhere? Yes, here. So the WLFI token, which I have been talking about in this channel on multiple occasions, they had a pre-sale, and now it's gonna be the biggest ICO ever based on the pre-market value of its ICO as of now. So the hype is real there, and people are expecting this to be massive. And if it is massive, that obviously is an ego boost for Trump, but also it makes money for Trump. So most likely he's gonna be pushing for crypto before WLFI launches. And we have an update on when it will launch. Basically, they say it is coming soon, but before it launches, they will announce a full launch plan. So most likely, what's going to happen now is that instead of them releasing the WLFI out of the blue, they will release this launch plan, and then maybe a week after or so, they will finally launch WLFI. And depending when they will launch WLFI, this might mark the top of the market. So keep that in mind going into the future, that if they launch it like next week, then it might not be the top of the market. But if it launches a month from now, then it could be the top of the market. So have to be careful, and this is something that we have to basically look out for in the future. Then, talking about Trump as well, he is now set to sign an executive order as soon as this week. So today he could sign this executive order, which would allow 401k retirement plans to invest in crypto. And we're talking about potentially $9 trillion worth of capital. But maybe if 1% of this capital goes into crypto, we're still talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. So that is all good, even if it's not a massive amount that comes out of this $9 trillion, obviously. So that is nice. And then another thing coming from the White House is that now they are exploring how to give tax exemptions for Bitcoin to make crypto payments easier. And this is again good news for potential prices of crypto assets. Very, very nice to see. And that is obviously not the only good news. But before we continue the good news, I have to give you the bad news as well, which is that the OG Bitcoin holder with 80,009 Bitcoin that I covered in the previous video, he has now sent all of his remaining Bitcoin, or all of their remaining Bitcoin, into Galaxy Digital, and most likely they're going to be selling those Bitcoin on the markets. So as of now, altcoins are pumping, like I said in the previous update, but as long as this sell pressure persists, Bitcoin might not be catching up to altcoins. So maybe even going into next week, Bitcoin might still go sideways while altcoins have their massive leg to the upside, and then altcoins have a push to the downside while Bitcoin continues its march to the upside again. So next week the altcoin pump could still continue, while this sell pressure is happening on the markets. So keep this in mind, that even though everything is pretty much bullish, Bitcoin is probably not that bullish compared to some altcoins. And then let's talk about Chainlink, because this is another major update from Chainlink. So Chainlink basically commented on the Genius Act. They have been one of the lobbyists for the Genius Act. And here they say that Chainlink is one of the only financial infrastructure platforms that uniquely provides proof of reserves, cross-chain connectivity, and on-chain identity and compliance in a single system. And then they also released a new partnership, and this is major. We're talking about the Reserve Bank of Australia and Digital Finance, CRC. So this is a joint initiative together with Westbank Institutional Bank and Imperium Markets. And they are using Chainlink in this project. So what this project is doing, it is tokenizing assets, which will save Australian markets up to 12 billion Australian dollars annually. So this is a real innovation, this is real adoption, and this is a real use case. So most likely there's going to be more demand for Chainlink, and this is again one of the drivers pushing the altcoin market. And this whole tokenization thing, well, when we see real life examples, real life use cases for these crypto assets, that's obviously going to create more hype as well. So it's not only Chainlink that benefits from this, it's also other crypto assets. So very good. Then we saw Similar Scientific acquire 210 Bitcoin worth $25 million. We saw Adam Back's treasury company called Bitcoin Standard Treasury Company. It is now going public and it already has 30,000 Bitcoin in its balance sheet. And most likely, once it goes public, it will attempt to get even more Bitcoin into its balance sheets, which means future demand for Bitcoin. So this is obviously good. And then we're seeing publicly traded Sharplink Gaming is now buying more more Ethereum, and they are buying $5 billion of Ethereum. And right now, Ethereum is also becoming a reserve asset, and that is extremely good because it usually means that the downside will be limited once an asset becomes a reserve asset. So Ethereum is now going there, and we have a lot more good news for Ethereum that I will explain next. So publicly traded GameSquare completes a $70 million public offering, and with the capital that they raised, they plan to buy Ethereum as well. And then another company, a Bitcoin company, this article says that pivoting to Ethereum, but that is actually false. They are only diversifying into Ethereum. So when we look at the screenshot here, you can see that the BTC Digital Ltd has closed a $6 million financing round and added a new $1 million Ethereum position. So they are buying both Bitcoin and Ethereum with the capital. So all in all, that is good for Bitcoin, that is good for Ethereum. So that's what happened there. And then a massive purchase of Ethereum. Bitmain has bought 170,000 Ethereum worth $500 million in the last 3 days. And currently they hold 300,000 Ethereum already. So the buying of Ethereum is absolutely massive, off the charts, to be honest. And then there's more. So iShares, which is the ETF platform or ETF issuer in United States, they have now filed for a staked Ethereum ETF. And that's going to be massive because when ETF holders can also hold the Ethereum asset while earning a passive yield on it, that's going to be huge. So for that, I posted LDO ticker because LDO is the platform, the biggest DeFi platform that hosts liquid staked Ethereum. They hold more than $20 billion worth of Ethereum in their vaults, while the LDO token itself only has a $1 billion market cap. So I feel like this is massively undervalued, and that's why I actually been trading it. As you can see here, I bought huge amounts on my Bybit account at 87 cents, and the price was $1.14 when I took this screenshot, and I basically sold half of it. And if it goes down, I will be buying more of it again. But with the half of the bag, I will continue basically holding this bag. But that is nice to actually make some good trades once again. So that's also a piece of news, I guess. And then we have more news. So here. So actually, I already covered this one. So that's basically it for the news. One more news that I saw was from Tron Network. So the SRM Entertainment, which was the publicly traded company that Justin Sun converted into a Tron company, they have now renamed themselves into Tron Inc. And Tron token is now pumping as well, obviously. So that is another news that didn't have the link here. But now going into fundamentals, first let's take a look at the ETF buying, and basically we only see green here, which is good. The day before we saw $800 million worth of inflows, and yesterday we saw $500 million of inflows into Bitcoin ETFs. So the buying continues, even though the OG whale or that wallet address is selling. We're still seeing massive buying into the Bitcoin ETFs. But the key is not Bitcoin ETF. When we hop over to the Ethereum ETF, that is where the news is at. So take a look at this chart here. This is massive amounts of Ethereum buying. this is surpassing the Bitcoin ETF buying by $100 million. So the day before, there was $700 million worth of inflows, and yesterday, $600 million worth of inflows. And all this is extremely good because when the ETF buyers they buy at a high price like this, they don't want to sell it for a mere 10% profit. They are looking for multiples. So they are not looking to sell this in the short term. So they are looking for Ethereum to go much higher than this. And Ethereum is extremely important because on Ethereum blockchain, when you want to trade with altcoins, usually those altcoins are in liquidity pools with Ethereum. So when Ethereum goes up, the liquidity pool's value goes up with it, which brings all of the altcoins up together with Ethereum. So when Ethereum goes up, altcoins go up as well. So that is obviously good for everyone when Ethereum is going up. So that is very, very good for us, obviously. Then when we look at the Google Trends, this is, in my opinion, one of the most important charts to keep an eye on because it gives an idea if retail investors are in a mania phase or they are outside of the markets. And now we can see that retail investors are coming in, but we are nowhere near a mania territory. So that is good. When Trump starts to hype up crypto, obviously the Epstein stuff is taking a little bit of wind out of his sails. But I think many boomers, when they hear Donald Trump hyping up crypto and Bitcoin, they might come into crypto as well and buy some assets, which will bring some capital into crypto as well. And while this is still low, whales cannot really sell yet. They want to sell into the hands of the retail investors. So when this is high, that's when whales typically like to sell as well. So right now we're not in a mania phase according to this chart as of now. So that's why I believe that this bull market will continue to go to the upside going into the autumn and winter. Then looking at fundamentals on sentiment.net, we saw a spike here on the supply of Bitcoin on exchanges, but most of this is basically coming from those whale addresses, that 80,009 Bitcoin that I talked about before. So I would not say that this is a trend shift that signals that now whales are in the sell side. I believe this is just that one individual who is selling their Bitcoin, so or entity that is selling their Bitcoin. So I would discount this pump here. Also, looking at the funding rates are extremely neutral. So no mania signs here either, which is obviously nice to see as well, which means there's potential for much more upside. And then looking at the market cap of stablecoins, we're seeing more mints here. So this week we saw another $2 billion mint of stablecoins. So that is very, very nice. And we like to see this growing because that is fundamentally good for crypto markets as well. Nothing else really to see here. So fundamentally speaking, Bitcoin looks pretty good as well. But then when we take a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we do see some warning signs in the immediate term. So as you can see, most of the yellow, most of the bright colors are basically below here, $115,000. So the price could go here with Bitcoin from the whale selling, but luckily we start to see a lot of colors appearing on top of the current price range as well. So the shorts are piling up here, while longs are also piling up down here. So I'm not saying Bitcoin will go to $115,000, but I'm just saying that this is a liquidity hot pocket, hot zone or liquidity pocket. So keep this in mind that Bitcoin could drop here, but most likely it will be snatched up, and then Bitcoin will just go back to the upside afterwards when the whale sales happen. But looking at the spot order book depth, we get a different story. So this is actually bullish here. So when we take a look at the order book, spot order book depth, we're not seeing massive amounts of selling, even at $120,000. So that is good because it means that people don't really want to sell their Bitcoin on the spot markets. We're not seeing massive amounts of buying entering the order books either, but the buying is basically consistent, people are bidding higher and higher in prices while the sell pressure is not mounting upwards. So in my opinion, this looks like Bitcoin actually would like to go to the upside. We could see a shock in the price to the downside, but likely Bitcoin will want to go higher from here. And then, well, the futures market has some sell pressure here, but I wouldn't really, uh, I wouldn't take much of it into consideration here, because many times when we see a contradiction between the spot markets and the futures markets, usually the spot markets actually win. So basically, this is bullish. This here is pretty much bullish as well, while in the short term, we could actually go attack this liquidity pocket. So now going in to talk about the prices and technical analysis, what I kind of expect is for Bitcoin to range here for a while. We could go lower to 115 or even $113,000. That would be perfectly aligned with this inverse head and shoulders. And if we go to $113,000, that would actually complete this inverse head and shoulders. And from there, we can shoot basically to the moon with Bitcoin price. Now with Bitcoin, I shared a couple of price lines that are important. First is $130,000. This is where price will likely go in the immediate term, and also another one, in my opinion, is here, 150 or $155,000, which is basically the top of uh, this connecting these two tops together. So these two areas are basically my sell zones. Right now, Bitcoin is not really there. I have been taking some profits out, obviously, reinvesting them. But all in all, basically, this is my idea as of now, that Bitcoin could go to $113,000, tag this line here, then continue upwards. But it could go like this as well, that we go here. Let me take this out. That we go sideways for here for a while. We go to that 130K, and then we see people taking profits, and then Bitcoin goes to this trend line, and then we go to 155K. Maybe that is something that I would see more realistic. I don't know exactly. It's hard to say exactly when we are in price discovery how Bitcoin price will behave, but here's just some ideas how it could happen. But while all of this is going on, I believe that altcoins will start to catch up to Bitcoin. And some altcoins like XRP is already pushing for all-time highs, obviously, but there are many altcoins which are not making massive moves as of now. So LDO is something that I've consistently talked about on this channel, and I believe that it is now set to go even higher from here. Currently, it is facing this resistance area, so we could see some pullback here. But all in all, once this breaks, I believe it will go to $2 quite easily. And from there, my basically my dream target for LDO would be $6, which would take it to previous all-time high here. So $6, that's basically a 500% increase from its current price point. And I think it's one of the most premium assets in crypto as of now. So LDO, one of the best picks in my opinion. There's obviously many others that you could invest in, but this is just one of the best ones. Now, I currently sold from my futures trade. I've sold half of it, but I have buy orders basically at $1.03 and then at 95 cents as well. So if prices go back down here, then I will basically buy the LDO back. And also if we have a breakout from here, then I will be buy LDO also as well. So that's just some ideas for you there. There's many other altcoins that are currently pumping, so you could buy many different altcoins and probably make money with them. But be careful, remember to take profits, and also if you have a KuCoin exchange account, or even if you don't, there's a massive trading competition with 3commas.io, which is the bot trading platform where you can sign up to get a free bot when you start, and then they have a paid plan, which I'm currently using. I made many videos about this. I will link them in the description. But the best thing about this trading competition is that you basically get free money very easily. So if you just trade $6,000 worth of USDT, then you get $100 for free, or you get discounts on the trading fees. And then when you trade $20,000, you get another $150. And if you trade $100,000, then you get the total of $550 in spot fee coupons. And this is just very easy competition, and also very likely that you fill these quotas. It's basically free money in my opinion. So if you haven't signed up for 3Commas or KuCoin, there's a link in the description for both. And make sure to sign up for this trading competition as well by this button to actually get in here. You still have, what is it, almost 2 weeks time left for this campaign here. So keep those in mind, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.